G'day guys, my name's Dave and welcome to another Guitars Ready Hero song tutorial. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you how to play 3x5 by John Mayer, which is an awesome acoustic tune. It's got some beautiful sounding chords in it. For the basics, we'll need our guitar and standard tuning, and you'll need a capo on the 8th fret of your guitar. Now, if you want to master your chords back to front, then be sure to head over to guitarsreadyhero.com to pick up my free guitar ebook. Or if you're fairly new to guitar and you're looking to build a strong, solid foundation, but you don't know where to start, then check out the Guitars Ready Premium course and membership, which gives you all the guidance to play with confidence. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. Let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so let's start with the intro, which is also used in the break, and there's just 4 chord shapes here. We're going to start with an E minor 7. So index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string relative to the capo, and ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string relative to the capo. So that's our E minor 7. Now in terms of strumming pattern, you could use a constant down-up strumming pattern at 16th notes for a full bar, which would sound like this. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... But for this intro, I'm going to tweak that strumming pattern a tiny bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play down, up, down, up, down, up twice. And that covers a full bar. And together with that chord. And I'm going to continue using that strumming pattern for the next 3 chords as well. So the next chord is an E minor 13. So we're going to take this same shape and just shift it up 2 frets. So index is on the 4th fret and ring finger is on the 5th fret relative to the capo. Play the same strumming pattern. Then we shift this exact same shape up 3 frets so that we're at the 7th and 8th fret. So this is another E minor 7 shape. We played that for 1 strumming pattern, and then we move that shape down 1 fret, and this is an E minor 9 with a major 7th. So interesting sounding chord, but it sounds very cool when all put together. So in total, the intro. The intro, that's repeated through twice, and for the break it's just played through once. So next, let's get to the first verse, and there's effectively 2 lines of chords here. We're going to start off with our E minor 7. Now for our strumming pattern, I'm going to revert back to the constant down up strumming pattern at 16th notes. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a... What I like to do though is accent the end beats, and that coincides with the snare that you hear in the song. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, like that. For the next bar, we are going to continue with that same strumming pattern, but we have 3 chords here. So the E minor 7 is played for the first beat, so the first 4 strums. 1 E and a. Then we go to a D7 / F sharp. So what you could do is play it with your thumb reaching over the top to hit the 2nd fret of the 6th string, and your index and middle finger like that. And that's the way that John Mayer will play it, with these ridiculously large thumbs. But I'm going to use my middle finger to hit that 2nd fret of the 6th string, index on the 1st fret of the 2nd, and ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd. So that's D7 / F sharp. And then we go to a G7. And again, with John's ridiculously large thumbs, he's using the thumb to hit that 3rd fret of the 6th string and then playing the rest of the G7. But what I'm going to do is use my middle and ring finger to hit the 3rd frets of the 6th and 4th string, and then index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So that's G7. We just strum sort of the top 4 or 5 strings there. So the E minor 7 and the D7 / F sharp are for 1 beat each, and the G7 is for the 3 and the 4 beat. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Then we go to a C add 9 chord shape. So we just move our index and middle fingers to the 5th and 4th strings, and ring finger to the 3rd fret of the 2nd. So that's C add 9 and then B11. So we just move our middle and index finger down 1 fret, and then ring finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Those 2 chords share 1 strumming pattern. So it's 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. And then we go back to the E minor 7 for 1 full bar. That's the first line of chords, which will sound like this. Of course, in the actual song, that's strummed a lot faster than that. Now, the second line of chords is almost identical with the exception of the final bar. So for the final bar, we start with our E minor 7, but then we go to a D/F sharp. Now I'm going to use my thumb to reach over the top to hit that second fret of the 6th string and just move my index finger to the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. So D/F sharp and then G chord. But I'm really only going to focus on the top 4 or 5 strings anyway, so I don't need to put my pinky finger down. So E minor 7, D/F sharp for 1 beat each, and then the G for the 3 and the 4 beat. So 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E. And that's it for the verse, which sounds like this in total. Next we get to pre-chorus number 1. There's 2 lines of chords here. We're going to start with our C add 9, then we go to a G, D/F sharp, and then C add 9. Those 4 chords are contained within 1 bar of music, so each chord is played for 1 beat. And we're going to continue on with that constant down-up strumming pattern. So 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E. So 1 beat for each chord. Then we go to an F sus2. So what we're going to do is use our thumb to reach over the top to hit the 1st fret of the 6th string, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th, and index finger on the 1st fret of the 2nd string. Now we want the 5th string muted. We just want the 6th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd string ringing out. That's F sus2, and we're going to be playing that for a full bar of music. In total, the first line of chords. So that first line of chords is played through 3 times. For the second line of chords, we play an E minor 7, but for this E minor 7, we're just putting our middle finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. Just an E minor 7 like that. Then we have a D sus2 and an E minor 7, so we just move that middle finger from the D sus2 up to the 4th string. And we strum from the 4th string onwards. We're just going to focus on those higher 4 strings. Those 2 chords are contained with 1 bar, so 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E. Then we take our pinky finger and put it on the 4th fret of the 4th string. So this is D add 9 add 11/F sharp. I'll just call it a D add 11/F sharp. And again, just focus on those thinner 4 strings, and we're going to play that for a full bar of music. So the final line of chords, 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E, 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E, 1 E, 2 E, 3 E, 4 E. And that's it for pre-chorus 1, which will sound like this in total. So that's it for pre-chorus number 1. Now, after pre-chorus number 1, we jump into the break, which is the same as the intro, just played through once and not twice. There's a second verse, and then we get to pre-chorus number 2. Pre-chorus number 2 is very similar to pre-chorus 1, but the second line of chords is different. So for the second line of chords, we start off with that E minor 7, but then we go back to an F sus2 for 1 full bar, and then to a D7/F sharp for 1 full bar. Now I'm going to play that with my thumb reaching over the top to hit that 2nd fret of the 6th string, and using my index and middle fingers there to play that higher part of the D7. I won't play the full pre-chorus, but the second line of chords here for pre-chorus number 2 will sound like this. Then we get into the first chorus, and it's pretty simple because there's just 4 chords here. We're going to start with the G chord. Now, John Mayer uses his thumb to hit that 3rd fret of the 6th string, and then his index finger to bar the 3rd fret to the 1st and 2nd. You could play it like that if you want. I'm just going to use a regular old G chord. Then we go to a D minor. So middle, ring, and pinky finger on the 5th frets of the 5th, 3rd, and 2nd string. Index finger on the 3rd fret of the 4th string. And we're just going to focus on the middle 4 strings there. So 6th string, definitely muted. Then we go to an A minor 7. So it's the same as an A minor chord, but we lift our ring finger, and we're also going to take our pinky finger up to the 3rd fret of the 1st string. And then finally A minor 11 flat 5. So move your pinky finger up to the 3rd fret of the 2nd string, and then index finger to the 1st fret of the 4th string. And we're going to focus on the middle 4 strings here. So that's A minor 11 flat 5. We play all those chords for 1 bar each, and the chorus simply sounds like this. And that's just repeated through 4 times for chorus number 1. After chorus 1, there's the bridge, and this is probably the trickiest part of the song. I'm going to show you the simplest way of playing it, and then I'll show you more or less how John plays it. So for the simplest way of playing this, what we can do is just play an E minor, and we play that for 4 bars of music with the constant down, up strumming pattern. So that's fairly simple with the first line of chords. For the second line of chords, we're going to play E minor, then D/F sharp. Those 2 chords are for half a bar each, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a. Then G for 1 full bar, then C add 9 for 1 full bar, and B 11 for 1 full bar. So the second line of chords for the bridge would sound like this, an easy version. So that's a simple way that you can approach the bridge if you wanted to, playing those basic chords and just strumming it through. But let's take a look at how John Mayer plays it. So we effectively have 3 lines of tab here. So for the first line of tab, let's break each bar up into 4 smaller chunks. So for the first chunk, what we're going to do is we're going to put our index finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th string. So we're going to hit that on the downstroke. On the upstroke, you can sort of lift your finger as you get into the next position, which is the index finger coming onto the 2nd fret of the 3rd string and ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string. And that will be hit on the next down strum on the end beat. And then on the next up strum, you can just lift your fingers again as you get back into that original position. So 1 E and A. And we're going to play that through 4 times. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. The one thing we'll add though, at the very start of this first bar, is the low 6th string. Now you can inadvertently hit the 5th string as well, that's fine, but we really want to get that low 6th string ringing out as we play the rest of the riff. So 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. We keep playing that riff for the second bar, and that's it for the first line of tab, which is just repeated through twice. So 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. So just break it up into that smaller chunk and you're more or less just repeating that again and again. Now for the second line of tab, this is where things start getting a little bit more complex. For the first half of the bar, it's very similar to what we've already got. Again, break each bar up into 4 small chunks. So again, we have this position and then lift your fingers for an upstroke and then get into this position with another downstroke, and then you can lift them as you go for the next upstroke. The only difference here though is that we can hit the low 6th string each time we're doing a downstroke. And in fact, it's encouraged because then you get that bass line running through the riff as well. Now that's played for 2 beats. So 1 E and A, 2 E and A. For the second half of this bar, we're going to take our thumb and put it on the 2nd fret of the 6th string. Now nothing else changes. We're playing the exact same thing where we're putting our index finger down and then shifting to this shape. So 3 E and A. And you play that again. 4 E and A. So the first bar in total. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. For the next bar here, John shifts his thumb up to the 3rd fret and continues the same way. But I find it more comfortable to just start using the middle finger here. So plant that middle finger on that 3rd fret of the 6th string. And again, we're still shifting between this shape and that shape. So the first little chunk, 1 E and A. And we play that through another 3 times for the second bar. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. So this second line of tab. For the 3rd line of tab, we are going to get into this sort of C shape. So move your middle finger to the 3rd fret of the 5th string. Now, we're going to start with everything lifted other than our middle finger. And the root note here is the 5th string. So we're going to mute the 6th string. We're going to hit this with a down strum and then an upstroke. And then we're going to put our ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th string and index finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string for that down strum, and then lift those fingers with your next up strum. So down, up, down, up. 1 E and A. So it's just on the end beat. We're playing that through 4 times for this bar. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 E and A, 4 E and A. Then we shift down to a B11 shape, but we're gonna start off with our index and ring finger lifted and do more or less the same thing as we did with the C. Down, up, down, up. So on the end beat, you push those fingers down. That's it for the 3rd line of tab. Now the 2nd and 3rd line of tabs are played through 3 times for this bridge. I'll just play it through once now, but this is how it'll sound. That's it for the bridge. Now, if you're practicing that, I would really take it slow because with the tempo of this song, it is quite tricky changing between these shapes at such a speed. So practice it slow and then work your way up. Now, after the bridge, we get to chorus number 2, which is the same as chorus number 1, except those 4 chords are played through 5 times and not 4 times. For the A minor 11 flat 5, I'm just gonna play up to the 3 beat, strum it, and then drop my pick because the outro is finger picking. So for the final A minor 11 flat 5, I'd play 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3, drop my pick, and then I can start finger picking. Or you can put your pick in your hand as well and finger pick, but I think it's easier just to throw your pick away. So the outro is 2 lines of tab. We're gonna start with that A minor 7 here. We're gonna pinch the 5th and 2nd string together with our thumb and middle finger. Then 3rd string with your index, and then back to our root note. So those first 3 plucks. For the second half of this chord, we'll go back up to the 2nd string, then 3rd string, and then pluck the 4th string with the index finger, so it'll move up to the 4th string, and you can play a ghost note there. Quickly hit the 5th string one more time. Like that, and together with the first half. Then for our next chord, we'll just shift our middle finger down 1 fret, and you can lift your index finger here. We're gonna play almost the exact same picking pattern, except at the very end, the ghost note can be the open 6th string. So the first half of this chord, and then the second half. And in total for this bar. For the next bar, we're going to play a G chord. Now you can use your middle finger or you could use your thumb to reach over top to hit that 3rd fret of the 6th string. Completely up to you. I'm going to use my thumb here. We're going to pinch the 6th and 2nd strings together. Then you can put your middle or ring finger, completely up to you, down onto the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Now the technique that John does is a little bit of a rake and a pick up on the 2nd string. So with the thumb, glide down up to the 3rd string, and on the 2nd string, we just pluck up with our index, like that. In the first 2 plucks. Then we move our middle finger down to the 2nd fret, index finger onto the 2nd fret of the 4th string. Now we'll start by pinching the 5th and 2nd strings, and then we'll do another rake, but we'll take our pinky finger up to the 5th fret of the 1st string, and we'll rake from the 5th string onwards and pluck that 1st string. So this A7 and the bar in total. And the first line of tab in total. That line of tab is repeated through 3 times, and then for the second line of tab we start with our A-7, pinch, then 3rd string, then we move our middle finger up to the 2nd fret of the 5th string, pinch the 5th and 2nd strings, pluck the open 3rd string again, then shift up to C major 7, so just middle finger goes up to the 3rd fret of the 5th string, index finger on the 2nd fret of the 4th, we'll pinch the 5th and 3rd strings here, and then the 4th string. Then we move to our B11, pinch the 5th and 3rd, and then the 4th string. And this is all plucked at 8th notes, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then we play an E minor add 9 to end the song. So index finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, ring finger on the 4th fret of the 4th. And you just strike that to end the song. Beautiful chord. Outro in total will sound like this. And those are all the parts to this song. So now I'll be doing a full playthrough of the song with a vocal track on top for some context. Feel free to play this back as many times as you'd like to practice, play along to, and see how you go.
Riding to get you up
Thanks so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this lesson, then I know you'll absolutely love these other lessons too. So hit the link here. Or if you want to grab a copy of my free guitar ebook, then head over to guitarzerotohero.com or click the link here. Thanks so much, and I'll see you guys next time on Guitar Zero to Hero. Cheers.